What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. If you can't tell, today we are going over the IKELOS SMG version 3. Now let me tell you, my version 2 that I have, absolutely love that thing. Have almost 30,000 defeats with it, so you know that this SMG is going to be a banger, especially with synergy for both Arc and Solar because of Warmind cells. And then in PvP, this thing can map, take down those sidearms, pairing it with a sniper, even with a pulse. This thing is absolutely a mad lad. So when we're gonna go over both the PvE, PvP God rolls for you guys that I've been using, because this thing is cracked. So starting off right here for PvP, we're going to be running stability on this bad boy so we can switch onto it and then not miss a shot because it's an absolute laser beam. So first off, for our barrel, we're going to be using fluted because it gives us that increased stability and increased handling, so we can switch on and off the weapon very quickly while having that stability, so it's like a laser beam, not too much recoil. Not that this SMG did in the first place, in my personal opinion. Now moving on, second here, we got accurized rounds for that increased range, so we can win some of those fights against the longer range sidearms that we have right now, those bursts, even that new one that's just a drop from the World Barracuda C. So definitely throwing on for that range. Now right here we have dynamic sway in the enhanced perk right here, so we have that improved stability and accuracy while we're shooting and holding down the trigger. Definitely helps when you're in that gunfight and you're getting flinched at the beginning or something. In the end, once that dynamic sway fully kicks in, this thing is even more of a laser beam than it already is with its stability and handling, how it's set up. Last but not least, for PvP, we're going to be using rangefinder, so we have that nice, more effective zoom and then that range. So it's nice for the PvP realm. Like I said, you can win some of those higher end short range fights into medium range fights with other SMGs for sure, even with some of those longer range sidearms or even a hand cannon if you can get that nice perfect distance. I was absolutely melting some people that had Crimson on, so this thing can do some nasty work with this roll that you have on here. Definitely depends on how you play, what you want to pair it with. I personally choose sniper because it's very good to hit that body shot if you miss your head, and then pull this out with that 82 handling, and it is just absolutely so quick to come out and it just melts. Now on to the flip side in PvE, where this thing really truly shines in my opinion for a few different reasons. One, we have that Arc synergy of getting Arc Elemental Wells, anything like that font of might that gives us some extra damage with our Arc weapons, so that's a very good pairing in the first place. We have that capacity to just annihilate adds, as you can see, with the Volt Shot perk on the weapon, as well as Feeding Frenzy. We're able to reload almost instantly when it stacks up to ×5, and then with the ability of this thing to create Warmind cells with that add clear potential, it goes up even higher. You can put that debuff of solar burn on enemies and targets. You can get Volt Shot to just wipe out adds, and you will produce way more Warmind cells than you would if you didn't have Volt Shot. So this SMG is absolutely nasty for PvE. So starting out with its intrinsic perk, we're actually going to throw range on this bad boy because I think the stability feels great on this weapon as it is, and that range helps us reach out to some of those farther enemies to really get that Volt Shot to just take a hold. Now for our barrel here, we're going to go with polygonal rifling just to give us that little increased stability for this weapon without giving us negatives to the other two columns. Just seemed like the best perk for me personally in this slot. Now for the second slot, we do have a couple options. I personally went with Seraph rounds for that increased range, and it does give us a little stability. You could go with something like appended mag or tactical mag if you wanted for that reload speed and magazine, or just the magazine size getting an increase, but personally I like it better with Seraph rounds on this bad boy. Now really where this thing shines again is in its enhanced perks in column 3 and 4. So Feeding Frenzy, right here when we get those rapid defeats, we increase our reload speed, stacking up to ×5. And when we get those defeats with Volt Shot as that arc chains, it also counts towards Feeding Frenzy. So you're able to get to ×5 instantly when you have Volt Shot procced and there's a decent amount of enemies around him, just because of the way Volt Shot can wipe out everything. And that Feeding Frenzy and Volt Shot pair perfectly, because the reload time, like I said, is almost instant when this is at ×5, and Volt Shot after reloading, after defeating a target, we get that jolt effect that we can apply to a target. So this is even good with doing damage on some of these stronger targets like majors. Get a couple defeats, get Feeding Frenzy to proc, instantly reload to get Volt Shot on, then you can just lay into some of those majors even champions with SMGs being overload this season. And in the future, I'm sure there will be other champion mods, but Volt Shot on this SMG with Feeding Frenzy is just a match made in heaven. Like I said, I absolutely loved my old version 2 SMG that had almost 30,000 defeats on it, so I know I'm gonna surpass it with this one for sure, especially with Volt Shot on this. I love Warmind cells. They've always been one of my favorite ways to do PvE and that add clear potential, and now with this season, with these reprised weapons in the version 3 with some additional perks on it, just really brought back my love for them. And definitely suggest you guys get to getting these and crafting as much and as fast as you can. A little harder to acquire these weapons since you have to focus them at the helm or from finding those nodes around the different planets in Europa, the moon, and our new Seraph mission. There will be a little guide on those that are up in the corner, so make sure to check those out. But there really isn't too many different ways to obtain this, so once you get your 5, definitely get this thing crafted for the PvE realm for sure, and even PvP, it does have a nice little place. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I truly appreciate y'all and the support. I'll catch you guys in the next one.